I made this game for almost 2 years, and when I revealed it to the public, this is what I got. But here's the thing, I think I know why I got this comment, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. As a bonus, I'm going to show you how excited I was when Marnix from Bite Me Games played my demo until he started to absolutely roast my game.
This feels like a game that could work in 2016.
I think a question you would like to ask me would be, did you actually use AI for the game? And the answer is, it depends. This image you're seeing here will explain everything, but to tell the full story, we need to go back to 9 months ago. I was working on my game as usual until one day I learned that it's important to start collecting wish lists as soon as possible. And to collect wish lists, I needed to set up a Steam page. This advice was coming from Chris Zukowski, who is a very well-respected marketing expert in Steam games.
When should I get my Steam page up? As soon as possible.
So putting up a Steam page quickly became my top priority. The problem is I had absolutely no clue how to put up a Steam page. But luckily, I had the chance to come across this. It's a free course called How to Make a Steam Page. When I was taking this course, there was so much to take away from each lecture. If it can educate someone as clueless as me, that means it's a really good course, so probably worth checking out if you haven't already. One thing I learned in this course about making Steam Capsule was...
Rule number 1, don't make your own capsule. You want a very good professional to do this.
So I hired an artist I found on Fiverr. He had great ratings with an amazing portfolio. And you might have already guessed, but this was the result. I don't know what you think, but I wasn't happy with this capsule art because I don't think it captured the cute and cozy style of the game. By the way, at that time, I was going to call the game Cat RPG, so that's why you're seeing this. I tried to fix things with the artist, but ended up having to scrap the whole thing. After wasting time and money on the capsule, I had nobody else to blame but myself because the truth is I was kind of warned about this.
Please do it. Hire a professional artist, not on Fiverr.
So yeah, looking for a capsule artist on Fiverr probably wasn't the smartest move. But this is my first game on Steam, so at that time it made sense for me to keep the cost low. After being mentally destroyed by the whole Steam capsule experience, I got a little lost. But one thing for sure is that making the marketing material had become a massive blocker. I'd never be able to publish this game if I didn't find a way to just move forward. That's when I made a decision. I'd use AI for the marketing material as like a placeholder until I figure things out. I generated the voice in the trailer with 11 labs.
Enter the realm of Mighty Meow.
And for the capsule art, I worked on top of images generated with GPT-4o. I might be hiring a real artist to do the marketing assets in the future, but for now, I just really needed to let go of my perfectionism and put up a Steam page so that I can move on. So to answer the question, I didn't use it for the game itself, but it was heavily used for the marketing material. Now that the Steam page was live, it was time to make the announcement for my Steam page launch. I'm a bit shy when it comes to putting myself out there, especially for a game that I've been working on for so long. And it turned out that there was nothing to worry about because I wasn't getting much attention. The whole point of setting up a Steam page was to collect wish lists, but clearly things weren't going as planned. Fortunately, I remembered something that could help with this situation. The Steamworks dashboard shows all the upcoming events on Steam, and I remember seeing that there was a Next Fest scheduled for June, and free exposure is exactly what I need right now. But the problem is I'm nowhere near releasing a demo. My game had no sound, no localization, no tutorials, it was full of bugs and unfinished features. Steam recommended submitting the demo by the 26th of May, giving me 3 months. It seemed like I had a lot of time, and also having a deadline added some urgency to my project, which was good. But it would have even been better if I didn't miss that deadline. I really wish I had a good explanation of why I didn't make it to the recommended submission date, but I don't. I just kind of missed it. It's not like I was slacking. I did work on the game almost every day whenever I had the time. But looking back, the issue wasn't how much I was doing. It was what I was doing. I think Peter Drucker put it best. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. The two are not the same. As an example, whenever I found a bug during a playtest, I'd write it down, and when I had a long list of issues to fix, I would fix them one by one during my focus time, which is early in the mornings before my work starts. And that's when I'm the most efficient. I was efficient, but not so much effective. What I should have done was ask myself a simple question before starting each task. How likely is this bug going to show up for the demo player during Next Fest? At that time, I was caught up by the idea that a demo should be perfect, it should have absolutely no bugs, but if that meant missing a deadline, then clearly it wasn't the right approach. If the bug would appear less than 80% of the time, I should have just dealt with it later. I reviewed my commit history to reflect on myself and found many examples like this one. Make Korean frontline space wider. Was this really necessary? I mean, first, how many Koreans will be playing my demo during Next Fest? And second, for the handful of Koreans, would it break the game if there was a slightly narrow line space in the UI? And why was I even working on localization in the first place? If I just skipped localization as a whole, I could have saved so much time. So that's how I missed the deadline, but I still had a chance because technically 26th of May is the recommended date of submission, meaning that I can still submit, but it's just not guaranteed that the review process will finish before Next Fest starts. So I did the best I could, kind of had to take away a lot of features and ended up submitting the demo on the 5th. And surprisingly, the demo was approved in 2 days, letting me making it to the Next Fest. The demo was rushed and it wasn't the best, but I'm just glad that I made it to Next Fest. Which also meant I can submit Mighty Meow to Bite Me Games' Next Fest livestream, and luckily it got picked. Marnix from Bite Me Games played Mighty Meow, and it's the first time I could get feedback from somebody who makes games full time, so I was really excited. The first thing he pointed out was that the demo button was not displayed as a green box on the top. In other words, for the majority of Next Fest, my demo button was displayed like this little blue button instead of this big green box here. Apparently, you need to dig through Steamworks and find this hidden checkbox to make the demo download button appear at the top section. I don't know why this isn't the default setting, but at least now I know. Marnix also gave me some feedback on the game. The feedback was very honest and super helpful, which gave me a better understanding of what needs to improve for Mighty Meow.
Definitely the art just isn't up to standard for 2025. I think that's the first big thing. This feels like a game that could work in 2016. Combat works, but it's very basic. And I think the onboarding is like the meme of like, here's how you draw an all. Step 1, draw a circle. And then step 2, draw the rest. Of like, okay, I go into here, but like, to what end? I rescue these guys, then they craft stuff for me. There's so much empty space that makes me feel like, oh, we're going to expand all of this, but probably you want to like lock these things off. The best meta move would be to go away from the dungeon crawling to a certain degree and go more in automation and like base buildy style game.
I want to give a huge thanks to Bite Me Games for playing my game, and I wish them the best for their recent release, Kyoto Anomaly, which looks pretty cool. Since I've spent most of this video talking about what's wrong with my game or what's wrong with me, I do want to point out one thing that I think the game did pretty well. With the sample size of 83, the median playtime for the demo was 22 minutes, which is higher than I expected. I still have players drop off within the first 10 minutes, so my next step is to kind of clarify the game's objective early on by improving the onboarding and see if that can help reduce the drop-off rate. Looking back at my project for the past year, I think my main takeaways were done is better than perfect. I should focus on the right things instead of trying to do more things, and I will be learning more by releasing than hiding my work. I know that these all sound cliche, just like the typical game dev advice we get on the internet, but it wasn't until now that I started to really understand what they meant. I really want to improve Mighty Meow, so if you've played the demo, I'd be super grateful if you can give me some feedback in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.